How's it? Today is Friday. It's Big Friday. It's January 22nd. It's the third Big Friday in this cycle, and so 2 weeks ago I started doing both the snatch and the clean and jerk at around 80% of my best from the last cycle. Not my best overall, but my best from the last cycle. So that was 80 and 105. And then last week I went up to 85 and then 110. And this week, as you can see, is 90 and 115. So, um, technically, as far as percentages go, I'm at 90% for the snatch and a little under 90% for the clean and jerk. Um, Today's workout was really weird because I felt like my positions were really good and my speed and my strength was all there, but I ended up actually missing two snatches. So I missed 90 on my second attempt, and then I missed 90 on what would have been my sixth attempt at that point. So I ended up making all five singles, but that's a total of seven attempts. And when you watch the misses, it's kind of silly because they are in position where I'm definitely strong enough to execute and be able to do it, but I just couldn't put it together. Um, and that was really frustrating for me. It's like a kind of mental thing because I like realistically, I didn't know what was going wrong with the lifts. I do know that the first lift that I made, I kind of pulled a little bit too hard, or I pushed my body under it a little bit too quick, and so that put some extra pressure that I wasn't ready for onto my elbow. That, if you remember, I did hurt my elbow. Like, well, here's the first set. You can see there. That was really good, really fast, really precise, but my elbow, you see there. So here's my second attempt. This is my fail. Yeah. So yeah, I did. I hurt my elbow a few weeks ago, like a few weeks before I went home, and so this is a like I didn't want to re-aggravate that. So I think I had the intention of kind of getting it over my head and then pushing, but it was a little bit too soft as far as my overhead um, positioning. That one as well. It wasn't as tight, you know. There we go. That was a little bit better. Um, what Khalil, the owner of the gym, was mentioning was that some of the lifts that I was doing, um, my right elbow was just a little bit slower than my left elbow, and that is typical. Like I've been having that kind of um, uneven pulling and uneven loading, or I guess uneven lifting. Sorry, not loading, uneven lifting, and that was kind of the only thing that he could really have like pinpointed. And um, I know that's I've been able to make those lifts in the past, but just today I guess it wasn't there. So yeah, so here are my clean and jerk warm ups. I went 60, 90, 110, 115 for five singles, and so these 115s, I guess all of the jerks. That was a really solid 110 from me. That jerk, I was really happy with that one. But all of these jerks were really significantly better than they were last week. My upper back wasn't nearly as tight or as sore as it was last week. I think that reasoning is because I used those blocks on Wednesday. I'm not super happy with any of the cleans. You see there, like it's like I'm really loose in the bottom. I'm kind of pulling and throwing myself under, and that's not typical, I would say, of how I think of my lifts. But as far as what I've been working on, the jerk has started to come together. That was probably one of the better cleans. But like I mentioned, all of the jerks today were pretty solid. One thing that I've been thinking about was I'm actually coaching one of my friends, and so we're trying to get him to sit back a little bit further on the dip, and so I was focusing on that as my cue today. And what that helps me do is it helps me dip a lot shallower, and I'm able to push straighter up. Like you can see there, like I even pushed up past where my normal endpoint would be. So that clean looked extra laborious for some reason, and that was again that's how I felt the whole day. But the jerk was one of the nicer jerks of the night, so pretty happy to finish off like that, even though I don't look like it. In the during the day, like during the lifts, um, I I'm thinking about all the things that I'm doing poorly, so I often look very disappointed, and so I guess that's something I'm trying to reframe and have a better perspective of. But after that, I moved into the pause front squat for a single. So last week I made it up to 137, but I failed at 137. And so today I wanted to reattempt that. I think I probably could have done 140 today, but because I failed at 137 last week, I redid that. So after that, I went down 15%. So 15% off of 137 is about 255 pounds because I had to move, so I had to use the pound plates and stuff. But that's what I did last week. So this week I did 260 pounds because that's like the next increment up as far as pounds go. And I'm pretty happy with how these went as well. I think I do lose a little bit of hip tension as I push out of the hole, but it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. And my positions from my upper body are a lot better than they used to be. I'm just comparing to myself to how I used to be. After that, I did some weighted pull-ups. Started from 15 all the way up to 40, which I don't think I would count this last rep here, but I think the first 2 reps at 40 this week are better than my first 2 reps at 35 last week. So that's the type of progression I'm making, I guess. To finish off the pull-ups, I do some lighter weight, two sets of 10, so a little bit of extra volume at the end. Those are really easy. And then I finish off with some planks. So the plank with the side plank, 60 seconds on the front, and then 30 for each side. The side planks actually are a lot harder than I would care to admit, I would say. The thing with side planks for me in the past was that side planks didn't really feel like I was working anything other than my shoulder. But lately I've been feeling that work my core, and I think that I'm going to make some progress with this as well. But yeah, overall, it was okay today. I kind of got in my head for those snatches, but yeah. Thank you for watching. Shoots.